Walpole Film Festival started in 2003 as one of the first high school film festivals in the country. The program has been recognized nationally as a model for creativity and collaboration in the classroom. Students in the program are required to follow each step in modern independent digital filmmaking. This includes screenwriting, acting, art direction, shooting on digital cameras, editing on professional software, and composing original music. The festival culminates each year with a red carpet ceremony that celebrates the achievements of each crew. To learn more about this year's Walpole Film Festival and how to become a sponsor, please visit our website, walpolefilmfestival.com. Thank you and enjoy the movie.
I can't remember a time I didn't show interest in art. I mean, I just always did it. It was always around. I just always remember it being there. I don't think there was ever any question in my mind that that was the path. I sort of joke about it sometimes and say I was only really good at one thing, so I didn't have to make a lot of choices.
People hate this misconception that artists are lazy, that we're stupid, and we chose to do art because we're not good at anything else.
Sadly, I think it depends like in what direction you're taking your art or like your creativity. You know, it's like if you happen to be a painter that like really made it and you're like in famous galleries in New York and everything, then you probably have a lot of respect.
But it's not about the respect you get from others, it's the respect you get from yourself. And waking up every day and just being happy. And when the sun goes down, I just go. And I go into this like coma, she says, and I just watch the sun go down. And I can't carry on a conversation. I'm just in awe of the beauty that I see. I get the beauty of the sunset and I understand it. It's a gift.
I think art is valued. Some places recognize it very well, but some people obviously probably don't think it's as important as academics, although you have to have creative thinkers no matter what they're doing in the world, even if they are engineers and scientists and professors of whatever they teach. They have to be able to think outside the box.
I think the thing that people forget is that in every culture, and since the beginning of man, from cave paintings, art has been like the essential, just natural, innate thing that people have wanted to do. They wanted to draw the animals that they've killed in caves. They wanted to sing out loud. They wanted to do a tribal drum beat, but no one taught them how to play drums. No one taught them how to sing. No one taught them how to do ceremonial dances, you know, things like that. It's part of our culture and part of our history.
It is like at the core of culture. It's like in every society, and it is like in every part of history. It is just there, and it's not going anywhere. It is something that challenges us as people in ways that is really important. It challenges us to think. Challenges us to, you know, plug into these emotional and spiritual sides of ourselves. It challenges us to be our best. I think that that value is always going to be there because of what it is.
You know, just how much we use like our iPhones and iPads and computers and all that. It's all developed by creative minds, you know, and that's just one example. So I feel like in society it's becomes so important, but there's a disconnect to, you know, education and what it takes to get those creative minds working and developing all of these things that we use every day.
What they're missing the major point. One of the things about the creative arts in general is that All of the skills that you require for that are applicable to everything else you can do in life.
In today's society, I think corporations are looking for kids with a background in creativity, kids that can create things. And that's what the programs like music and dance and art and film, they give those kids an experience that they can create something that at the end of the day they have a product that they're proud of.
And it's just kind of crazy to me that we put all these specific definitions to what is acting, what is singing, what is dancing. And I think that's why the arts aren't respected now, because it's under the assumption that unless one person or a group of people say you're really talented or you're really good, then you're not categorized as an artist unless you get validation. And I think that's where we make the mistake in the arts.
The discipline of learning music is such a math-based, spatial-based function. Breathing life into that is purely analog and human. It's not something that anybody you can't quantify that. That is not objective in any way, shape, or form. It's completely subjective. It's heat of the moment. It's individual. It's always pure inspiration to various and lesser degrees. We're affecting other human beings. If that's not a vote for, maybe it's a good idea for human beings to pursue musical activity, I'm not sure what would be. Performing music, when you achieve something, when you do something well, when you do something that emotionally works, you feel it emanate, and it is communal, so you have reinforcement. That connection that you make, and every musician feels it. Every once in a while, all of those people are on the same page. And it's not only performed well, it not only has accuracy, but it has beauty. And the juxtaposition of having all those areas of the brain firing at the same time with all those whacked human beings that don't come from the same backgrounds, they don't have the same opinions, they don't look the same, but it's something you put in your pocket and it changes you.
Let me hear ba-ba-da-ba-da. So 4E and a 1. Okay, I'll give you 3 beats. Even if you're not going to be a musician playing an instrument or singing, to be musically literate, to have that knowledge, music should be for everyone.
I take lightning to my back to keep you out of the storm. I've been waiting for you for so long.
Pursuing the arts causes your regions of your brain to communicate with each other in ways that are stimulated by few other things that humans do. But it used to be thought of as hemispheres. You know, one side governed the digital side, the zeros and ones, and your logic and reason, left and right brain. And you know, the right side was creativity, and the analog and the ethereal, and the creative side. It's not that cut and dry. You know, it's really portions of the brains of parts and lobes that do certain things. In order for us to be the highest functioning human being that we can, we have to be able to have creativity to come up with the idea, and the logic and reason and know-how in engineering to make it function. So that's using all of humans' capabilities.
New ideas, new software, advancements in technology, all that came from somewhere, and it didn't come from just repeating the same things over and over again. It came from innovation.
Of course, the development of brain and all that, that's important, but kids need a place that they can feel like they can do something worthwhile.
You know, I think that giving people an outlet to express their creativity is important. In an era where everything is so measured and everything's so data-driven and everything is so, we need to have this test and we need to then have this other test, and how do they improve on this and how do they improve on that?
Look at most towns in Massachusetts where the arts are strong, where they have a fine music program, where they have a fine theater arts program, where they have a fine visual arts program. And then look at their standing in the state. You don't generally find programs that have well-supported arts programs low on the list.
You know, back when I was growing up in the 80s, it was the first thing to be cut, music and art cut. And so you would think that people realize the importance of the arts in kids growing up and the development of the brain. And unfortunately, sometimes towns just need to find the money, and sometimes they feel like they have to cut that first because it's not, you know, an academic, but it's so important for education of the whole child.
Unfortunately, right now is uniquely horrifying, in my opinion.
I think it's terrible that art, music, technology, those types of, and I don't mean like computer technology, I mean like working with your hands, like technology, those are the first things to go. Those are seen as disposable, and they're not. That's what creates a culture, that's what creates like who we are as a people.
All studies in education say that earlier somebody adopts a language. Music is a language. It's a form of communication, always has been, always will be. The later that starts, the degree of success is diminished by factored amounts. Not you're 1 year behind, it doesn't work that way. Each year, later in life somebody begins, the chance of them achieving some sort of success, high level of achievement in that area of the arts becomes diminished by factored amounts. That's a scary trend.
When I started 20 years ago, different states, different school system, it was a once-a-week music class, classroom to classroom, up and down. I was considered the break for the teacher, for the classroom teacher. My subject wasn't considered important. I was told by that school system that the only reason I had a job is to give a real teacher their time off. And that if a principal wanted to hire a math specialist for a 30-minute class, I'd be out of a job. So that's how I started.
90% of what a lot of music teachers are experiencing is that there's no longer respect in the scheduling process for the arts, which becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You schedule it poorly, the program has more difficulty producing a quality musical experience for the students, then it justifies, well, we don't need this because it's not that good anyway.
But when you have a culture of kids growing up with that, they become the adults who, even if they're not saying it verbally, it's how they grew up. So their minds are already, for the majority, it's just extra. Oh, it's just extra. It was extra for me, it's going to be extra for you. So it's a self-perpetuating horrible cycle that's hard to break.
I think our education system right now is a little bit upside down. We've taken out even a math teacher's ability to approach subjects creatively. They're losing the inspiration. So, Lordy, unless educationally we kind of rethink the path we're on, then we're in trouble.
I've always felt very strongly that words just aren't enough. And I think that there are things that you can express through movement that words will never be able to.
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag and drop it, zip, unzip it.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just standing at the bar alone Before you even move your arms and legs, you're standing in first position. Your stomach is sucked in, your tailbone is tucked under you, so your spine is perfectly straight. You are pulled up all the way from the tip of your head. You're squeezing your legs, you're squeezing your toes, everything has to be perfectly aligned. You have to tense your shoulders but relax them at the same time. There's a million things to think about just when you're standing there.
The arts are a part of us. I mean, it's even those are all the skills you first learn when you're little. You learn how to sing and dance before you learn how to do anything. You learn how to draw and doodle before you learn how to write.
People don't realize that an artist's skills are extremely valuable. We have very specialized, unique skills that nobody has.
I've had art professors tell me all the time, you'll never you'll never make it as a New York City artist, but making it as an artist in New York City doesn't validate whether I'm an artist or not.
I think there's still a stigma that arts careers aren't real careers, that you're supposed to at some point become a lawyer or become an accountant or become a doctor or do something quote unquote real with your life.
Right now there's been an explosion in new media. I mean, there are people who work out of their basements or their little studio that are producing some of the most amazing film scores for video games, etc. So there's work.
My mom always told my sister and I growing up that no matter what we chose to do, we better make sure that we love it because we were going to be doing it for the rest of our lives.
I mean, many people say, okay, only a few people are going to end up in the arts. So for the rest, everybody else, it's just hobby time, it's just fun. So why, what value is that in the workplace and so forth?
You have talent, you have a voice, you have a vision, and no one is ever going to tell you that that vision is correct or the best. Because in all honesty, it's a competitive atmosphere usually, and if you don't prepare kids to be competitive, they're never going to get confidence to be great.
I have a paper in my office that's 100 different careers in art that you can have, and that's just 100. I have posters in my room for different variations of just design itself and all the jobs that can be done in each of those areas of design.
Every year I encourage kids to go to film school, and if that's what they're passionate about, and I know it's scary to think about that next step and what kind of job you're going to get, but I said I always tell them that if you're passionate about it, if you love it, then one, it won't seem like a job, and you're going to be really good at it, and it's going to work out.
If that is what you want to do, you follow that passion, and you will know. If you have a passion for making art, whatever art form it is, you're not going to be able to ignore that.
Yeah, I would say pursue the dream. Pursue the dream as long as you got it. I mean, it's like being young. You're young once, try everything that you want to at least once. Opportunity passes. Most people, when they're older, they regret not doing something as opposed to regretting something that they've done.
Any human being that can find something in their life they love, and there's a possibility of actually doing that for a living, I think you'd have to be certifiably insane not to pursue it.
I participate in dance company and I dance at Walpole Dance Center.
In school, I'm a director in the film festival, I'm a member of drama club, and I'm in the jazz choir.
In the Walpole High School Dance Company, the film festival, I dance at Medfield Dance Academy.
I'm in the drama club, I'm on speech team, and I dance outside of school.
I'm in dance company here, and then I'm also
at Midfield Dance Academy.
Drama club, the school a cappella
I'm
group.
in the drama club, the jazz choir, an a cappella club.
I do drama club in school and outside of school, piano, singing, jazz choir.
I do speech, film, and drama.
I do jazz choir, drama club.
I partake in drama club.
The drama club, the orchestra, the jazz choir, the chorus, the band, piano lessons outside of school.
But when I was a freshman, I kind of assumed that everyone just went and played sports, and I didn't really understand that creative arts were as big of a deal as they are. But now looking back, I'm extremely grateful that I've been able to participate in the arts because they've really changed who I am as a person. And even though I never had considered it before, it's a whole different creative outlet than anything I've ever experienced before.
Being in drama club itself has made me more confident with not just loving what I love and being able to express it, but with like being myself. But I think that being around people who love the same things as me has made me more comfortable being who I really am.
One of the worst feelings is feeling like your dreams or your passions aren't valid or aren't important. And I think it's important to teach kids that like it's valid to have these dreams about artistic endeavors that aren't necessarily like practical or like important to academic success, but they're still important nonetheless.
It's been scientifically proven that the arts help with the education process and help kids learn more concepts, and the fact that that's under question is just ridiculous.
I know so many teachers say the dance company show is like the hidden gem of the high school. I think the school should do more to kind of make the show known and make students know more about the arts programs.
The people who do arts and music and art and drama and theater and speech, they're all very talented people, and I don't think they always get the recognition they deserve for the wonderful things they do.
That it's not just all sports, that art is just as good as sports and equal to it. Like, there doesn't have to be an imbalance between the two, one's better than the other. I think art needs to be at the same level of respect that sports has.
So I think what's kind of sad is a lot of people are kind of discouraged from pursuing careers or like a college education in the arts programs. For me personally, I decided not to go to film school because you're kind of taught that like it's something unrealistic and it's not practical and like you can't get a real job that way. And I think that if schools kind of encourage us more, then people would really get a chance to follow their passions and do something they really care about.
Every time I have this talk with my mom about like college, she always tells me that I can minor in dance, but I need to pick a more like substantial major, but that's not what I want to do. So I'm gonna major in music theater in college next year, and so there was a little hesitation from my parents.
I do get judged a little bit when someone asks what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna major in. I say digital cinema or film. They're like, oh. They like immediately say, are you gonna double major in something else?
And then they like just judge you because you're not smart enough to go into real stuff.
I think there's definitely this feeling of like you have to go into school for something that you will make money in, but going in for theater, I think for me, like it's definitely something that I really want to go in for, and I think that the whole idea of going in for something you love and something that you are committed to and dedicated to is kind of lost. Everyone needs that outlet, that like safety net almost, that's like, this is who I am, let me be who I am, please.